Awesome. Hey, Pierre.
Hey Dave, what's up?
All right. Today let's talk about annotations in decks. So we previously talked in the video about how to comment on data points, which is really helpful for the exploratory workflow, especially when you're working collaboratively with other users. But sometimes you want a more explanatory workflow where you want to almost embed in the visualization an annotation or a call out to a particular data point to try to get a certain point across, right? And so, for example, here with the scatter plot, we'll go through the same workflow we did before for create comments. And you see there are two options here. One is to leave a comment, and one is to create an annotation. So let's talk about the create annotation workflow. It'll open up the sidebar there. You can see by default, it's created the annotations there with this kind of placeholder text for both the title and the label. I can update this to something exciting. So I say, look at this. And I'll just, in this case, get rid of that label. And then a couple of different options here, right? You can see it already picked the right point of what I wanted to do the annotation on based on clicking on that. I can play with some stylings here. I can change the radius. I can change, again, how big that circle is. I can change where the offset of that text is, what connector type is, the colors and all that sorts of stuff. But for the purpose of this demo, I'll just kind of leave it with the default setting, but just know that you get a lot of controls there and how you create that. And just like comments, these annotations are attached to that data point. So if I were to filter in this case, and I can just go ahead and brush a quick filter on here. If I were to kind of do a filter here and include whatever data I want in that filter, there's that annotation, right? Because it's attached to that data point, just like comments are attached to that data point. But the power here is that now it's embedded in that visualization. So if I wanted to highlight something to my consumers of this notebook, consumers of this visualization, they can easily see that through that annotation.
Sounds great. What if I'm on another type of chart, for example, bar charts?
Great question. So yeah, so in a bar chart here, so there's two types of annotations we support. One is a call out, which is particularly to a data point, like you just saw there in that scatter plot example. The other type is a threshold, right? And so I may want in this bar chart here to put a certain threshold at, again, any arbitrary value that I want to highlight within the visualization. And so to create that one, I say go into the configure options here. You see annotations as one of the options in the sidebar. I want to create an annotation. I don't want it to be a call out. I want it to be a threshold, right? And so I can say, here is something important, and I can spell that right. Important. There we go. I'll get rid of that label. And then now I need to pick which column I want. So you look at on the y-axis there, it's that GDP per capita. I'm going to pick that, and I pick what the threshold is. So say I wanted at 0.90, right? And now you see that threshold where that line is cut across. Again, I have all the options for kind of styling it with the label, the offsets, the connector types, the colors, etc. I'll leave all those blank for now. But you can see there's a way now to create a threshold. Again, I could move that around. I could have styled it differently for colors. But now here's a way to have an annotation that is a threshold annotation versus an annotation up here that is a call out annotation.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.